Yes, everybody, hello and good evening and welcome along to Forever United TV. I'm Adam. Sorry I'm a few minutes late there, everybody. I had to get set up because tonight is a busy night. We have got the show with all the news on Senne Lammens and his impending transfer to Manchester United coming up in this show. Updates on everything that happened in the press conference today with Ruben Amorim. We're also looking at what's going on with Casemiro and everything else happening at Manchester United today. But on top of that, straight after the show tonight, we have got the watch-along between West Ham and Chelsea. Our first watch-along of the season on Football Talks. You will be redirected at the end of the show. We're going to continue the whole Premier League chat from today, including United and everybody else in the build-up to our first watch-along of the season. It is a busy weekend. More on that towards the back end of this show. Right now, we're concentrating on Manchester United and a new goalkeeper coming to the football club. His name is Senne Lammens. He is coming from Royal Antwerp, and everything has happened today. Fabrizio Romano being the one that has loaded this one up and launched it this afternoon. We did a video at lunchtime, backed up by Sully as well. All he's done is sent me Belgian flags on a message, pretty much confirming what is going on. But you know what? Before we get into the details of this, I would like to make a big thing about the media coverage of this today and how amusing it is. Look, I love all of the journalists out there. They all do good jobs in their own way. But let's be honest, anyone who's a correspondent of Manchester United is a million miles away when it comes to transfers. Oh my days. All the way through today, we've had nearly everyone who was in and around that press conference today at not Old Trafford, that's Carrington, talking about how Manchester United are not looking at bringing in a goalkeeper, how Manchester United are not prioritising a goalkeeper. All of this has been just going on and on and on throughout the day, and other people have been talking, like Sully, like Romano, like a couple of other people, overseas journalists predominantly as well, about Manchester United getting in touch with Antwerp, Royal Antwerp, finding out, they're not finding out the conditions, we already know the conditions, but progressing this transfer to a point where apparently Alex Cook from TalkSport and others now have said that Senne Lammens has agreed personal terms with Manchester United. Romano coming out and saying that he has said yes to Manchester United. It is a dream signing for Manchester United. All of this is just circulating around the media right now. There is so much. I'm just going to read through some of the reports that have come out from different accounts and different people throughout the day. Manchester United, first of all, declined the chance to pursue Gianluigi Donnarumma due to his high wage demands. So, the Donnarumma story was there. It was real. It could have happened for Manchester United. They did contact it. They sent a delegation out to Paris to speak to representatives of Gianluigi Donnarumma, but they decided not to pursue the deal because of the high wage demands and just the sheer volume of money that was involved in the deal overall. It probably might have been a different story if United were in a different position. But right now, as we know, we are struggling to move players on. Finances are tight. Finances have to be spent the right way. And Manchester United still need, don't forget, another midfielder. Whether we'll bring him in this window or not, we do not know at the moment. But Manchester United have moved away from Donnarumma because of the expense it would have cost. Then we start to hear about all of the Senne Lammens. Now, if you didn't watch the video at midday, I broke down the initial reports that broke around that time. It was late morning, in fact, when Romano, Sully and all these other journalists started to push out information that there was now active talks to a point where Manchester United were in touch again, already knowing what it was going to take to get Senne Lammens. And like Romano has said all along, it's always going to be Senne Lammens. It always was Senne Lammens. The Athletic reports the club's hierarchy, led by Sir Jim Radcliffe, view now as the right time to look at bringing Senne Lammens to Old Trafford again from the meeting. This has come from the Athletic. So you know everything that's going on right now is 100% genuine. It does look like Manchester United are going to get their man, and their man is Lammens. He has been a name that has been mentioned throughout the summer, as you well know, and I have covered many a times here on Forever United TV. Manchester United wants to be fast about the signing of Senne Lammens. If he arrives, maybe one goalkeeper has to leave. Nothing guarantees that Onana leaves, says Fabrizio Romano. Now, I'm just going to run through the rest. At £17.3 million transfer, a £17.3 million transfer is close to being agreed for Senne Lammens, with the structure of the deal currently under discussion, and that's come from Sky Sports tonight. That straight away, just that in the last hour, that is them clinging onto it now as well. So you got Romano, you got The Athletic, and then to rubber stamp it, when Sky Sports start reporting about it on their transfer show on TV, well, that usually means that this deal is getting very, very close. So, Senne Lammens, what do we know? What's happening? Where is he going to play? How is he going to come into Manchester United? The conversations have been going. The video that I did earlier on, Gray, one of the mods, pointed it out, like the variety of different conversations and debate going on as to what the best thing to do right now for Manchester United is with the goalkeeping situation. It's got everybody talking. It's got everybody talking about what the pecking order is going to be at United with the goalkeepers. Is Senne Lammens going to play second fiddle throughout the season because he's just a young goalkeeper? But he's not that young. He's 23. We're talking about this lad here playing first-team football, well-developed, filled out, ready to go, entering the prime years of his footballing career. He isn't going to sit on the sidelines forever and a day. This is why now we're looking at this, and I said this in the video earlier on. The structure as I see it will be Senne Lammens comes in. It's easy for Manchester United to then just deal with Andre Onana in their time. And by that, I mean he's not a massive priority. And that's been made clear throughout the summer. Baffled me beyond belief. Trust me, and you all know this. But this is United's plan. So let's just go through what they're talking. If he comes in, then United only have to deal with Bayende. It's seen as an easier deal to deal with because United don't owe any money on Bayende. He's not on massive wages anyway. And he will be easier to move on to another football club. Worst case scenario, he might go out on loan with an option or obligation to buy whatever it may be. Onana, you don't have that option. He's on higher wages. We still owe money on the transfer. And obviously, he is a massive personality and it's going to be seen as big news for Manchester United. And again, for some reason, there is this love affair within Manchester United for Andre Onana. And I just don't get it. I really don't get it. But look, this is the plan now. I think Lammens comes in and is number 2, and eventually in certain games gets his opportunity, plays some games. Don't forget, the AFCON is coming up around December, January time, and Onana could be missing for a maximum 6 games for Manchester United. So there is going to be a big opportunity for Senne Lammens throughout this season anyway. He is going to get a longer run than any goalkeeper has, apart from Onana, in the last 2 years when that December comes around. And then United can easily just say, well, it's progressing with Senne Lammens. Hopefully, he does well. Hopefully, it's progressing with Senne Lammens. And when you look at it, when you look at everything that's happening with the Senne Lammens side of things now, and him coming in as a number 2, I just feel like it's a setup and a structured move for Manchester United to bring in a younger keeper, integrate him in. Onana's taking the limelight, in steps Senne Lammens, and away he goes. He cannot be any worse. Right now, Manchester United, I feel, are getting a steal in terms of the price they're paying, the wages that he's going to be on. Onana will leave next summer, 100% guaranteed. There's no way that Ineos are going to bring in one of their goalkeepers that they have paid for. The first goalkeeper that Ineos have brought in, don't forget. And when you look at it, when you look at the whole thing as a package together, you just know that he's going to take over Andre Onana throughout the season. And that, I think, is the most important thing in this. It's not straight away, it's not instant replacement, but it's a progressive one, which I think will take over throughout the time through this season. And I think around the new year, turning of the new year, calendar new year that is, I think Manchester United will have a new number 1 goalkeeper in Senne Lammens. 6'4", beast of a goalkeeper, known for them penalty saves as well. But do you know what? Again, the production line of goalkeepers from Belgium, you have to look at Thibaut Courtois, another great goalkeeper that came from Belgium. They do like their goalkeepers over there in Belgium. There has been some big ones come out through the years, and when you look at Manchester United's need right now, I think what this does and what Ineos have planned here is it just calms the waters again. It's another clever move with the fan base because everybody now can just go, right, oh, well, we've got a keeper now. We've actually got a keeper in place that is actually going to replace Andre Onana. We're not looking for one now. Can we stomach Onana for a few games through this season? Well, if he makes a mess now, Ineos are going to be there with that structure that's brought this player in, knocking on Ruben's door saying, this is the keeper that we all agreed on bringing in. You're the man now that's got to make these decisions and leave Andre Onana out. And that, I think, is exactly what the plan is. I can't see it. I can't look at it any other way. I think it's a progressive move for Manchester United, and it wasn't the top choice, I don't think. No, I don't believe that was Ruben's choice. I think he had other ideas. I do believe that Emi Martinez was right up there as one of Ruben's top picks for goalkeeper. I think there were people at United that think that Donnarumma was the right pick for Manchester United as goalkeeper. Look, this is the first transfer this summer of a player coming in that's not going to go right into Manchester United's side. This is an interesting one, this transfer from Ineos and Manchester United, because of all the reasons that I've just talked about there. He's not coming straight in, and obviously he's going to have to fight for his place alongside Andre Onana, who, well, I've just explained, and his standing in the football club he's up there for some reason. Everybody loves him, but look, I just think that we've got a young player coming there who's full of confidence. It's his dream move to come to Manchester United, that's been said, and this deal is moving forward very, very fast. Do we like the price tag, everybody? Get into the comments section, that's where I'm coming next. Price tag for Senne Lammens, around 17 million. It was reported between 13 and 17. Maybe there is a structure within this deal. I don't know if Manchester United are going to try and structure this as in 2 payments, maybe maybe a bit of a payment down this summer with what money we've got left, and then the rest can be paid next summer. I would guess that it would have been covered in 2 instalments. So realistically for United, this is a really cheap deal. And Manchester City were actually looking at Senne Lammens, don't forget. Apparently they were, after looking at Donnarumma being too expensive. There was a story going around this morning that Manchester City were interested and were ready to pounce if Manchester United didn't make a move. And again, when when an opposition club comes in, it seems like Manchester United are always willing to move and get the job done. We got a push with Brian Mbeumo when we thought that Visa was going to go to Newcastle and we might lose the deal. We got a push with Benjamin Sesko because Newcastle were in for him also. And again now, finding out maybe that Manchester City were interested in Senne Lammens, all of a sudden Manchester United have got things moving very quickly. Nico, thank you for renewing your membership, my friend. Sorry, Adam, but Lammens is a Sunday league keeper. We deserve Donnarumma. We aren't a kindergarten for newbies. He's 23, mate. And other clubs are in for him, Nico, buddy. Don't write him off just yet. He has been scouted and he has been looked at for a while by Manchester United. We've got a poll running in the chat as well. Everyone, get involved, please. Will Senne Lammens replace Andre Onana? 91% of you have said yes to this so far. 91%. That is beyond a landslide. That is a avalanche of votes. Over 1,000 in just under 10 minutes already voted on this. He is a man, you don't have to mention his name, Andre Onana, that gets everybody talking, isn't he? He gets everybody going and revved up. And I think the thought of him being replaced now by a signing. And you know what? Like I said, I think what people believe in here in this transfer with Senne Lammens is that it's an Ineos signing. And they're not going to see their investments sit on the sidelines and let this clown completely destroy this football team. Because he will. He'll have some alright games and people will start talking and Anna's turned the corner. Look at this. Now he's got a competition in. He's turning into a great goalkeeper. He will still be bad at passing. He will still not command his box. He will still not come out of his box. And he still will be one of the worst shot stoppers I've ever seen with a Manchester United shirt on his back. And nobody's going to convince me, no matter what he does through the season. I don't care if he gets the save of the season. I want to see consistent, commanding goalkeeping. I don't think he's capable of it. I've already made my mind up with him. I've seen 2 years, and that's enough for Manchester United. And yeah, 2 of our worst ever seasons in Premier League history, back-to-back, with him in goal. I've seen enough. I don't want to get into another Onana rant, and I could feel my voice going up there. But good to see most of the chats is actually agreeing with me in the poll. 91%. Kaz, United FUTV community is the best. Anana out Sunday. I'm only laughing because I think Ruben's going to play him. And I think this is the plan. So Amorim will play Andre Onana at weekend just to prove a point. But like Samuel Lucker said this morning, and I said this in the midday video, that there was reports coming out that Bayindir his confidence is going to be shot because he's going to be dropped again for Andre Onana. Perfect opportunity to try and move Bayindir on. Manchester United, obviously, then I've got Lammens to step in, and I think the big question with this is, and obviously this deal's not completed yet. I can't see it not, is all I'm saying. But it's going to be interesting to see how long he actually sits out on the bench for and when he gets introduced and what game it would be. And I think the trust factor from Ruben Amorim will kick in there then. And I think we'll see. I reckon... I mean, you would have thought like early days, like Carabao Cup matches is the perfect opportunity to blood a goalkeeper like this just coming in. But let's not forget, this isn't no young whippersnapper. This is a 23-year-old man, fully developed, 6'4" beast of a goalkeeper. No wet between the ears, wet behind the ears. Sorry, type of not played football, not ever experienced first team hustle and bustle type of action. It's a goalkeeper that's used to it. Yeah, you can talk all you want about the Belgian league not being great. It isn't right up there in the best leagues in the world, but still, you're still dealing with same situations and pressure in terms of the shots and what's coming at you. The only thing that he's going to have to get used to is obviously wearing a Man United shirt and playing in front of 70-odd thousand fans every single week and dealing with the pressure of fans absolutely trying to destroy him behind the goals when he goes to away games and everything that comes with being a United player. So, yeah, that's all we've got to wait for to see how he adapts and when Ruben brings him in. So that's a good question to ask, I think. It is a good question. Steve with the super chats. Don't shoot me, guys. Lammens only plays in front of 13,000 and hasn't played senior international football just yet. We can't pressurise him. Look, I think the desperation for bringing somebody else in instead of Andre Onana is going to push the want for the keeper to start. I don't think he's going to come straight in. And that's the point I was just trying to make. I think he'll take his time. And then I feel round the Christmas time period when we need him, because we will, because Onana's at AFCON, that's when he comes in. And I think that is when we see Senne Lammens really not thrown to the gauntlet. I'm hoping United are playing better football by then and the pressure's off. But I just feel like he will deal with some simple basic things better than Andre Onana will. I think every goalkeeper in the Premier League is better than Onana at that. He just pressurises the defence for no reason. I think calming influence is just as important as how good you are at stopping a shot. I really do think that's important for teams, and the goalkeeper's massive in that. Kev United, thanks for the super chat, matey. If United are set to spend just 17 million on Lammens, then in your view, how much could realistically be allocated for a midfielder? And again, I don't think we'll be paying all of that up front, Kev. So I think Manchester United will have midfield targets, but I said this before. I said it on, I can't remember. I think it was on the morning show, actually, when I said, I think Manchester United are now looking at a situation where they want a midfielder in, but I think even 40 or 50 million doesn't buy them the type of type of midfielder that they want. I don't think it gets them near it. So that, I feel, is the big problem that they have got right now. I think Manchester United desperately need to bring in reinforcements in midfield. But like Romano said yesterday, and when he said that yesterday, and we've talked about Stiller, we've talked about Agome from Seville, and Stiller from Stuttgart, like we did this morning. Like all of these players, I just don't think Ruben is fully sold on anyone else but Carlos Baleba. And Romano has said that. I actually feel like Baleba is a player that Manchester United already know they're going to get next summer. I think that's how it's being spoken about. I think they'll wait. I think this, Senne Lammens, I think could be it. I do. I thought we would get one more player in. It's an important one. Goalkeeper is just as important as midfield right now. And I base this off, are our goalkeepers worse than our midfielders? Yes. Therefore, that's the most important position on the pitch right now. Can our midfielders do better? Can the shape help the midfield issue that we've got this season? Yes. Can any of that help the goalkeeper? No, because he doesn't do the basics. He does not do the basics. That is it. And that is why Manchester United have gone for a goalkeeper. And Kev just mentioned the finances there. That is also why Manchester United did not go for Gianluigi Donnarumma from PSG. We didn't want to spend that amount of money on a goalkeeper, on his wages in particular. That, I feel, I think that's the biggest thing, innit? Like, United know that they need to save money for something bigger. I am fully in belief that the bigger thing is next summer, and it's Carlos Baleba. I think that's what United are saving every single penny that they've got, because they know they're going to have to break a record. They have to break a club record to bring in Carlos Baleba. It's as simple as that, and I think they're preparing themselves for it. If they know they're getting Baleba, they'll probably think that getting a keeper now and then saving what we can until next summer will work for them. But it's a lot of pressure on Ruben's system now without a midfielder. That's, I think, key in this. And actually, the next story is going to put even more pressure on the midfield, because I'll go on to that in a minute. But Lammens is very good at dealing with crosses. Look, he's not perfect by any stretch. Like, you'll watch videos and you'll see mistakes from Lammens. But he's consistently doing basics better than what Onana does. And that is gold for Manchester United right now. He isn't going to make as many errors leading to goals as Andre Onana, going off data analysis, and that's what Manchester United are using. They're not gonna throw their number one goalkeeper under the bus. So they're gonna say everything to the media to say, keep it looking sweet. We like Onana. There's no one taking his place. This is why they brought a number 2. But believe me, behind the scenes, Manchester United are planning on having Senne Lammens as their number one goalkeeper. I think Onana will be gone. I think Baindir will be gone. This is by this time next summer. I think Vitek will be promoted back in, and it'll be Vitek and Senne Lammens as Manchester United's 1 and 2 goalkeepers. Maybe Eli Harrison comes in and makes the third, where Tom Heaton is. I don't know. But academy players really don't want to be playing third goalkeeper. So maybe maybe Tom Heaton just stays again. I don't know. Just keep dropping his wages and keep him at the club. Honestly, like, you can always promote an academy goalkeeper anyway if needs be. I just think they need to just... you have to put him on the books, Tom Heaton, but... I think that's how it'll break down, I think, going into next season. I really do. I think United will be in a position where we want Vitek in and around Manchester United, and we want a better structure of goalkeeper. Like, they don't believe in the 1 or the 2. And I think they believe in Vitek, but he needs more experience. And Senne Lammens can come in now. Be number 2, promote to 1, and then out goes both keepers. In comes Vitek. He's the number 2, experience, and we'll get game time. I think he will get game time. Then you've got 2 young goalkeepers fighting it out with each other. 2 beasts of goalkeepers. And everything's changed in the space of 3 years of Ineos taking over Manchester United. 3 summer transfer windows. Everyone's gone, who everyone wanted gone. And we've got our new, fresh look Manchester United. How has this not happened previously at Manchester United? Because you've got absolute numpties running this football club. This is very good news for all Manchester United fans this today. It really is. I feel like we are in a position with United right now where we are looking further just past this. Past everything that is just this summer transfer window. They're not here for the short term and quick fixes. And the transfer window is looking that way. I think everything is built around a future at Manchester United. And I feel like there is more to come. And it's interesting how it's all developing. I'm really excited to see what comes next with it. There's loads of updates tonight coming out. We're going to continue this show over onto Football Talks, as we're going to be doing the watch-along with Chelsea and West Ham this evening. So our first watch-along of the season is tonight, and that starts just after this show, so after we finish here. But we will be continuing the chat in the build-up to that game. So this is where Manchester United now I think, sorry, this is Manchester United. This is all the news around Manchester United. Now there's going to be more coming out, I feel, because there's going to be constant updates throughout the night now. Well, the football's actually going on as well. So we're going to be live throughout, and we're going to watch the game while we're doing it. So it's going to be like a 4-hour session of football news and everything going on, while watching a football match as well. So make sure that you do tune in straight after this show also. Laurie Whitwell. First of all, Romano on his piece now and talking about deals and things going on with Manchester United's midfield. I'm going to get onto this now because I want to move on to that Casemiro story. But Romano has been given the overhaul over Manchester United transfers and what's going on in midfield and things like this. So this is what Romano has said. On Andre Santos and Angelo Stiller and Manchester United links, Romano has said, last night, guys, I clarified to you and also this morning about Andre Santos. Enzo Maresca said Andre Santos is staying at Chelsea, so playing down rumours about Manchester United. On Angelo Stiller, guys, this midfielder is appreciated by many clubs around Europe. Stuttgart message is very clear. They want the player to stay this summer. They are not entertaining talks with any club. So, talks have happened and there has been contact with agents of Stiller, but as the club stance is in Stuttgart, they don't want to sell. So this could be another midfielder that just gets taken off the books. They have not received any call to our approach from Manchester United, and what Stuttgart say is if you want the player with basically 7-8 days to go, you need to start reaching out, and so Stuttgart are very relaxed. Basically saying that Manchester United or any other club haven't offered anything or gone into talks or approached Stuttgart. I think what they've done is they've gone to the agent, they've spoken to him as we've reported, and that's as far as it's gone. I don't think Stiller is in any rush, and I don't think he's going to aggravate for a move away from Stuttgart, and this is why this deal is now stuck where it is. So, yeah. This, I think, is going to be, personally, right now, Manchester United's last buy. I do think. I think we have now got Lammens in, and that will be it. And I feel like this right now, I think is still massively positive for Manchester United. But again, the debate will continue amongst everyone in this chat and several other chats, groups and everything around the country, world in fact, about Manchester United's midfield. And I think this now is going to be Ruben Amorim's system in full focus without his midfield. And that, I think, is what everybody's waiting to see. What's he going to do with Mainu? Is it Agate number one? Is Casemiro actually going to feature that much this season? Is Casemiro, because beforehand, he was up for sale. Is he that important now that United can't sell him and can't entertain this so-called offer from Al Ittihad from Saudi Pro League? Club captain Karim Benzema apparently is pushing for Casemiro to move to the Saudi Pro League, to Al Ittihad. And that, I think, right now, I don't think can happen. I don't. I think earlier in the window, yes, I do think that was something that could possibly happen. But now, no, I don't. I really don't think that it's actually doable. I think that Manchester United are comfortable with their midfield right now. I don't think Ruben would want to sell Casemiro. I mean, get into the comment section and ask and tell me that. Would you sell Casemiro right now? If a bid came in, say for instance, we got 20 million offer came on the table for Casemiro, would you sell him now, knowing that Manchester United really haven't made their mind up about any midfielder whatsoever so far this summer? Do you think that this now is the right time and the right thing to do for Manchester United? Sell Casemiro? Honestly, I just don't see Ruben sanctioning a deal. I don't think we can afford to lose him. I think we actually need Casemiro now. And there's no chance that any bid's going to move him or dislodge him from Manchester United. I just don't think it's doable. But they're in, and the interest is there. The interest from Saudi has always been there for Casemiro. Nearly everyone has reported it constantly throughout the summer. And I do believe that we are going to be looking at Casemiro going for nothing next summer. That's what I truly believe. The question is, like, are United tempted by selling Casemiro, maybe bringing in someone like a Gomez, because we can actually get rid of Casemiro and afford to bring somebody else in? Like, his wages off the books, and a fee, like, to actually get a fee for Casemiro and clear that debt, that might be something that really interests Ineos. Look, I'm just putting it out there. I don't think it's going to happen. I don't know if United are looking at the potential financial benefit from it. It's a tricky one. It is a real tricky one for United to navigate, because Casemiro, I don't think, did bad against Arsenal. And the back end of last season, he was vital for Manchester United. He knows what Ruben wants. He knows the system. He's one of Manchester United's leaders as well within. He's the one that a lot of these South American and Portuguese players go to. He's a leader at United. And I don't think Ruben's prepared to lose that. I think Ineos would want to sell him, and Ruben would say no. I think there would be internal disagreement on Casemiro. I don't see this deal happening at all, simply because, like I said, we need the numbers, and Casemiro is a big player for United. Ross says, you mean he is a goalie that stops shots? What a concept. Yes, as on Lammens, he does stop shots, unlike Andre Onana, a lot would say. And thanks for all the likes, everybody. Over 600 already. Smashing it. Absolutely killing it. Make sure that you do pop a like on the video if you're enjoying the content. Make sure you also hit the subscribe button. Thank you, everybody who already has done on that. Let's keep the conversation going. Ruben Amorim was talking in his press conference earlier on. We didn't cover the press conference like we usually do, simply because there is so much going on transfer-wise. We'll save that for in-season, but full concentration on the deals that are going on. And that's why we've been covering Senne Lammens throughout the day. So that obviously has been the priority. That's been where Manchester United have been looking to improve, obviously, and we've all been talking about it, so we covered that instead. And when you look at Manchester United now, and where we're at going into this game this weekend, like we said, Andre Onana coming back in, that will trigger, obviously, all of the Bayern news and talk about him being moved on. Obviously, Lammens then comes in. That's good, that's good, that's good. And then I think it might be all on outgoings, which Ruben was talking about in the press conference today, and that he's not necessarily needing to sell a player desperately to bring another player in. He made that point clear. If United want a player, they can go out and get that player, but it doesn't necessarily require players to be out of the door. It doesn't. He said in a world where the players don't go, the bomb squad that is, that they will probably be reintegrated, and who knows? It's a different scenario then. Integration has to happen and something has to change. So again, saying exactly the same thing as what he did when he was on the pre-season tour, in that obviously United will obviously only accept offers that suit them, and if that offer does not come in, he kept alluding to it in his press conference, go and speak to Jason, go and speak to Jason. Jason's the one that's dealing with all of this. He's the one that you need to talk to, and I think that is what he meant by that as well. So yeah, when it comes to the outgoings, like Romano has said, like Ornstein, like Whitwell, like every single journalist has said now, we're in the same position. Everything is edging closer. We'll be talking about ins and outs with Chelsea and how the involvement of Garnacho goes there in the next show when we move over to football talks in just a moment for the watch along, everybody. But I look at it and I think there has to be deals done. Like Garnacho doesn't want to go back to United. Sancho, like Romano said, broken. That's not going to happen. Antony's an interesting one. We brought you the news earlier on that Brazil, ESPN Brazil are saying that Antony is subject to a €45 million bid from Fenerbahce now on Jose Mourinho. So potentially movement there. If United don't sell Antony and he isn't going to get game time, the Turkey's transfer window does not close. So we need to remember, it's not shut yet, and we could see Antony moving past the transfer window closing here in Europe. So that is one to keep an eye on as well. In fact, if Turkey are interested, I think if teams in Turkey are interested, or even Saudi teams, I think this is why Manchester United are confident in holding their ground. I do, because they're not looking to replace Antony. He's already covered. He is surplus to requirements, and they're just looking for the best bid now. They're looking for the maximum amount of money that they can get. So Antony, in not signing for anybody in this European transfer window, i.e. September 1st, goes past that, United are comfortable. They'll probably end up getting good money for him when he goes to Turkey. And that, I think, is something that we all need to remember as well going towards the back end of this transfer window for us, because and this is why I think Manchester United have always been confident as well. Interesting. Quick update on the Rasmus Højlund situation as well. He was asked in his press conference by Sky Sports, Dan Kahn today as well, Ruben Amorim, about Rasmus Højlund, how he has actually accepted not playing, how his mood is, what's he like with the rumours and potential move away from Manchester United and everything like that. And Ruben simply answered like we've been talking about this morning, like a full professional, not kicking off, getting on with work, training. No issue at all from Rasmus Højlund, fully professional, and Manchester United now working on a deal. The update on the Rasmus Højlund situation right now is that Rasmus Højlund has now accepted he needs to leave Manchester United this summer and is expected to return to Serie A, where Napoli lead the race for his signature, to a point now where personal terms are starting to be discussed. There could be a potential move with an obligation being put into the deal to suit Rasmus Højlund's needs of wanting to be part of a project. And that is now moving this deal very, very close to completion. And hopefully by the end of next week, when the window shuts, he will be out of the door and Manchester United can concentrate on moving forward. But you could see a potential here of a guaranteed exit of Rasmus. One for Sancho, one for Garnacho, and one for Antony with the news that's going on. It is one of the longest drawn-out transfer windows that I've ever reported on, and it is finally coming to a close. But not because of the Saudi Pro League and the Turkish League's transfer window deadline. That actually could still bring us money for Antony. And then past that, yeah, we can't spend any money in January. We can't spend any money in this summer now. The window's shut. But January then kicks into gear. And I think that's, again, like another eye-opener. United have done business in January. We did it last January, and there's no reason why United would not do it again. Let's not forget, we're not in Europe. So if we've got targets, then there's nothing stopping teams selling players to us. Like, for instance, if a team doesn't feel like they're meeting the PSR threshold for this financial year, maybe they do business in January. If United can move these players on now, it puts them in a very, very strong position to go and negotiate with players. And I think that is probably what is going to happen for United. I think fully prepared for next summer, like we just said with Baleba, just getting these players out the door now. I think Lammens will be Manchester United's last signing. Look, I'm all for any midfielder coming in for Manchester United. And if there is a surprise package, then bring it on, is what I say. Bring it on. But I just don't think it will. I think we're at the point now where we are done. I think we're at the point now where we know exactly what's coming. And I think it's already come. I think it's already here. I think we're done after Senne Lammens. But again, that at least is moving forward now. Let's get a few comments in from everybody in the chat, please. Don't forget, the link in the live chats is for the game that we're going to be covering over on Football Talks, the watch-along between West Ham United and Chelsea. That's going ahead right after this show, everybody. So make sure you're tuned in for that one. We're going to be moving across there. So we're going to continue the conversation, of course, get all your thoughts in. So join us, subscribe to the channel, please, everybody, so you're ready to go for that. We do have another poll running up, which is, are you joining us on Football Talks for the show, on Football Talks after the show? Sorry, I got that mixed up. Big chunk of you are coming across, which is good to know. Thank you for that, everybody. Really appreciate that. So keep them votes coming in and make sure that you're there later, because we are going to talk about it. There is going to be a lot more comments coming. So if you haven't had your comment read out in the show because there's so many people in, then make sure you jump across onto Football Talks straight after this. I'm going to get through as many of them comments again. You can talk United, you can talk full-on Premier League. We're talking everything. Did you actually see Nuno Espirito Santo's press conference today? There's a man right there that is asking to be sacked. I couldn't believe it. Mental. What a window it's been, hasn't it? Like, seriously. Like, the amount of stuff, news, and little subplots to everything going on around the Premier League transfer window has been absolutely crazy. It really has. No manager with any sense should be happy with that set of midfielders. I mean, it's a bit harsh, Dan. I mean, Bruno, Ugarte, Casemiro, Mainu, we've all been heaping praise onto Mainu, hoping that he's going to be the next coming of Manchester United midfielders. And so it's not the worst midfield in the world. I said this before, I think the centre-backs stepping forwards are definitely the angle in for Manchester United here. It's the system that's going to play a key part in this happening for United. It really is. We should be selling him, but no way we can sell him with who we have at central midfield. That's Carl talking about Casemiro. Not now, says Nigel on Casemiro. Casemiro is our number one central midfielder, says Mashup. I would love to move him on, but for profit, but I don't think they are bringing in a midfielder in this window. Gabriel says, I mean, it's only 40 million for both Aguame and Lammens. Well, if we get Aguame in, that is. Tresu says, if he goes, we can sign a 40 million player because of his wages and the money we get for him. Yeah, but what's a 40 million pound player going to bring Manchester United this summer? He's not going to be as good as what we've got, and that's what we've said. Like, if we were putting all of these players together to try and make something happen for Carlos Baleba, then we're going to fine, get Baleba. That's what Manchester United would do easily. And Casemiro walks. Sell Casemiro off, sell the other players. That would have been enough for Manchester United to probably go in and get Carlos Baleba. But no, that's not happening because, yeah, you know it, because we haven't got anyone else lined up past Carlos Baleba. I think it was him or nothing. And that's what United are at right now. And I don't think that is going to change. I think that the board have promised Ruben Amorim that they're going to go and get Carlos Baleba in the summer. And I feel that there is no one else that United want to bring in at this point. To get this midfield issue sorted. I don't think there is anyone there. But look, we are in where we are, and Casemiro didn't do too bad a job. And Casemiro could probably survive the majority of the season in playing one game a week. I think what Ruben needs to do is decide who starts the games for him. Against Fulham, is it going to be Ugarte or is it going to be Casemiro? Is he going to start Benjamin Sesko this weekend? All of that talk. We're going to be talking more about the teams and things like that and how each game is going to be this weekend over on Football Talks when we finish here. But still, just to go over the news again, everybody, from the top of the show, if you are just joining us, thank you again. Get your comments in and please do pop a like on the video. Senne Lammens has said yes to Manchester United and apparently personal terms have been agreed. The media have been at each other constantly throughout the day, debating whether United are in or not for Senne Lammens. It's not going to replace Onana. Manchester United are not looking at a number one goalkeeper. The backtracking going on. Honestly, you might as well call it a moonwalk fest with the media today in backtracking over this Senne Lammens deal. It has been a comedy act. That's all I'll say. And it's been fun to watch because it does look like, from very, very significant sources now, like Senne Lammens is a red. And he is going to be playing for Manchester United this season. Signing number 4 in another key position in goal. I said it before how I think the plan is going to pan out. I think he will come in as number 2 and replace Altay Bayinde. But I think he will eventually replace Andre Onana through the season. I think it will come when we hit in and around the time when AFCON hits, when we really need a goalkeeper in. I think that's when we're going to get the likes of. That's when we're going to get to see the likes of Senne Lammens, and that will be the big thing. It will. Onana will be number 1 and Senne Lammens will be number 2. Yeah, Dan, that is exactly what I just said then. We will not see this goalkeeper play before the new year. I think we will, Neil. I think the chance will come. I don't see how they get Baleba. He's imperative to the season's success. I don't see how they could get Baleba. no, we're talking about next season, mate, with Belabor now on that one. Jack Jones says, Marinakis is well known for being a bit of a nuisance. A nutcase. I don't know where I got nuisance from there. He drops managers if he doesn't like them or get on with him. Yep, I'll get on with them. He doesn't. No, he is a bit of a balm cake, isn't he? I like well-known balm cake. Keep the comments coming in. My philosophy is get behind a player until he proves we shouldn't. I reckon this new goalie might come good. I think, yep, because we've given up on Andre Onana. Could do. Lammens will debut against Grimsby, I bet. Straight in. Depends how quickly they make the move happen, doesn't it? If they get it done this weekend, yeah, there's every chance. Every single chance that we could get Senne Lammens in for the Grimsby game. I don't think it will happen, no, personally. I think it'd be too soon. I think maybe into the next round of the Carabao Cup. If he does sign past this window closing, that might be a case. We might be able to do that. Possibly, potentially. That would be my guess, the next round of the Carabao Cup. It's a shame we haven't got the European football to try and bed him in some of the lesser games. But, look, I think the time will come, and I think he will eventually be stepping in to Premier League games, hopefully, as well. And then Onana can't get back in. That's the hope. We just pray that he actually does well, and then we have got a shout for actually keeping Andre Onana out of the side. I think that's key in this as well. Only United can replace a lemon with Lammens. Nice one, Jeff. A good one there. How would Adam react if Amarin plays Mount as number 6? How would I react? You could have just asked me. How would I react if he played Mount as 6? Well, Mount's never played 6 in his career, to my knowledge, so I'd be scratching my head, particularly when you've got Casemiro and Agate there already. He's not going to do it. Simple as. If Mount was going to drop down into midfield, he would only play an 8 at max. He wouldn't go any further than that. Definitely not. He will definitely come in when AFCON starts anyway. He will. Don't forget, everybody, like AFCON is this season, and Onana's going to miss a minimum 4 games as it is. Could possibly miss, if Cameroon do well, 6 games of the Premier League season around the turn of the new year. So we're going to need someone to come in and play consecutive games. And that, like I said before, is where I hope Senne Lammens really steps up and makes it happen. I think that, personally, is the time when he comes in. Also in the news today, like we have updated you with the bomb squad, Rasmus Højlund not being part of that, but moving closer and personal terms apparently now being discussed with Napoli. So that could move close over the weekend. Interesting to see if Rasmus Højlund is actually in that Manchester United squad for Fulham, or if it's like Arsenal, writing on the wall, Ruben not talking about transfers and avoiding it like the plague in that press conference today. But then moving into, obviously, Casemiro and that news about El Ittihad, I cannot see United letting Casemiro go now, and Ruben will not sanction that deal. I can almost guarantee he will not let Casemiro go. Definitely not. But look, stranger things have happened. United might take the money and have someone else lined up. But Romano has also updated us on Stiller and said that Stuttgart are standing their ground. They're not selling the player this late in the window. Someone has to come in with a significant bid. And United, I don't think, are willing to do that for Stiller. And that is not going to happen. So, realistically, again, you cannot sell Casemiro. But Garnacho will move to Chelsea. I think that's a definite. Romano has also said regarding the Santos potential swap and cash situation from Chelsea, Maresca has made it very clear Santos is going nowhere. He's not leaving Chelsea, and there is no way that Garnacho will be involved in anything, any sort of deal with make weight of Santos coming the other way. There is actually now nobody at Chelsea of any interest to Manchester United, and they're the facts. They don't want anything. I'm just checking out here now. Oh no. Tyler Dibbling to Everton. He's very close, apparently. We'll talk about that on Football Talks as well. There's lots going on, so make sure that you do subscribe over on Football Talks. We will be redirected after the show. We're just going to continue talking football and looking ahead and looking at what West Ham and Chelsea's game is. We're going to be doing a watch-along for that, so don't forget, everybody, after we've finished here, get across there. In terms of Sancho, again, waiting for an update on Jadon Sancho today that didn't come. So does that mean that negotiations are carrying on and continuing? I think no news is probably good news with Jadon Sancho at this point in time, because obviously we've heard that he hasn't accepted the initial terms that Roma offered. So that, I think, is clear that negotiations are continuing, but the deal has not been completely trashed yet. It's not been binned off, and of course, well, we can see now what actually happens past this point with Jadon Sancho. I think now, like I said before with Antony, if he doesn't do a deal before September the 1st, then, well, quid's in, because he's got to go to Turkey or he's got to go Saudi. Because Fabrizio Romano today has said that Jadon Sancho is broken. Relationship between United and Sancho, fully broken, and not a chance that he ever plays for United again. So something is going to happen this week with Jadon Sancho. And I said it before, I can't wait. But I know that Jadon Sancho is probably not going to accept anything, and we're going to move on and extend this transfer window into the bloody Saudi and Turkish Pro League deadline, because he hasn't managed to agree personal terms with a European team. That, I think, is... I think that's going to happen, I do. I think that's nailed on, in fact, to happen over these coming days now. So, yeah, Sancho, I don't think... I pray that... You know what, actually? I actually pray that Jadon Sancho sees sense in these last few days and signs for Roma. It's where he belongs. That's his level, for me. That is his level. He doesn't deserve Champions League football, that guy. And if the football gods are looking down, he signs for Roma, he agrees to personal terms. United may have to enter a little bit of a severance negotiation, but just get the man out of the football club, for God's sake, and let everybody move on with their lives. And everybody move on with their football lives anyway. God. So him, in fact, out of all of the bomb squad that's left... In fact, here, right now, I'm going to ask you all, just put the name right in. So you've got 6 players. Onana, Rasmus, Sancho, Garnacho, Malacia and Antony. Who is the most important 2 out of them that needs to go? Go right now. Put them into the live chats. Let's do that before we finish up. While you're doing that, please make sure that you pop a like on the video. We're nearly over 800, which is epic, everybody. Thank you. And of course, make sure that you have subscribed to Forever United TV as well. And while doing that, hit the subscribe button on the link in the live chat to Football Talks, because we're going to be moving over there in just a couple of minutes' time and to do the watch along between Chelsea and West Ham. And of course, we are also going to be continuing this chat as well as everything else that's going on in the Premier League, because there is a lot. So we're going to have a good chilled out watch along session, talking all football, having a good debate, podcast style, let's just say, bringing in as many comments as we possibly can on any subject going on while watching a football game. So come and join me on the watch along straight after this, everyone. I can see all of the names: Garnacho, Sancho, Garnacho, Sancho, Garnacho, Sancho, 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 Sancho. I can see you out here. I'm with every one of you. I'm in total agreement with my chat tonight. And please, on that note, chat, and join me over. Even if you've got it in the background, just come in with the odd comments here and there. Watch the game with us tonight, this Friday night. Grab yourself a beer. I'm going to get one myself as well. We're going to enjoy the match, and we're also going to be talking full-on football. So that is it here on Forever United TV, everybody. Thank you so much. Welcome new subscribers who've come in while the show's going on. Welcome new members as well. Thank you all the super chats. Thank you, mods. I will see you all over. The continuation of this chat will said that wrong. Well, we'll continue chatting over on Football Talks. That's it, everybody. I'll see you over there in just a moment's time. But thanks again. That's FUTV done for tonight.